Hi, this is Stefan Hensken, Head of Pre-Sales Consulting, BrandMaker. I'm going to lead you through the demo we did last month in Zuffenhausen on a demo system of BrandMaker. So anything you see now is live, it's no fake, it's a real system that could be used anytime, starting right now. By the way, this is multi-language, so I could choose the login language anytime, or it depends also on the demo user. For example, if I use the Porsche Beijing user, then I start the system and I'm logging out right away because I can't do any demos in Chinese. So the user I'm going to do the demo with is the Porsche Zentrale user. That is a user that has quite a lot of rights, so we can lead you through all the features. The first thing to point out is that typically the end user would end up in a portal like the one we did here that features the main campaigns, that gives direct access to assets, that gives you marketing advice, so to take the end user by the hand. This is not what we're going to do during the demo because we jump directly into specific functionalities of the system, but for the end user, of course, you want guidance and usability. So the first thing I'm going to show you from the central point of view is the marketing planner that gives you a strategic overview of your complete central planning as well as the decentral activities that go on all over the world. What you see on the left-hand side is the campaign structure that can be arbitrary. It's just one example we did for you with the typical central campaigns, the Panamera launch, some image campaign, and the markets, including specific dealers below the markets. So this is Panamera for Abu Dhabi. And in Europe, there's dealers in Frankfurt, for example, Karlsruhe, Stuttgart. And the right-hand side currently shows all the activities with timelines. Each timeline has specific meanings. For example, this color means public relations, or you can put markers on the timelines that says there's an information campaign, and this is just checking if everything's going to plan, or this is a launch activity, or this is a priority you can set. So a lot of information right in there. Also, the timelines can contain rich content. Just moving my mouse over this one, for example, gives you some text and the video that really plays in the browser that you can watch. So much more information than just timelines. It is also quite easy to add information. So for example, I noticed that city is misspelled here. I'm just going into the timeline. I can correct it. And you see here, there's much more going on in the background. There's responsible people, there's even currencies, there's all kinds of information, the timelines themselves, for example. But you can also integrate existing orders, invoices, marketing development funds with the system, so you have the financial side covered, and you can also create specific tasks that are directly executed in the background as structured workflows. Also, each of these elements can have dimensions that say what is the target group, for example, what models are being advertised, what's the market. And as you see here, this is inherited from the parent node, and these are entered manually, so you have automatic data quality because the important stuff is inherited. And in the end, you want to have the transparency, what's the performance of this campaign. Then you can create KPIs for that. Here, for example, I just said how many contacts do I want, but I could also have computed KPIs and complete control for you. And as you see, you can have content in any language. For example, in Porsche Center Beijing, I even added a picture of that directly taken from the web pages. So information at one glance, complete transparency. Just zoom into some quarters to give you direct access to dates. This makes it possible for you to do your central planning, to communicate it, and for the end dealer to report their activities, to enter their activities, align them to the central needs, and have complete overview of their own doing. If you like to, you can also use it for budget planning. That's exactly the same structure on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side you now have the budget with the allocated budget, the spent budget, and the committed budget where you ordered someone, and this can be reported on. Also, there's a dashboard telling you the latest activities, your tasks. You can search through it, and there's a lot of things you can do directly here. So back in the planner, I mentioned that we can also make things happen in the planner by creating tasks for people, either simple tasks that just send out reminders, or also structured tasks like this one. Technically, that's the job manager module in the background that creates a structured workflow to get things done one by one, responsible person for each step. So you see this is running in some workflow. This is a simple one that just says briefing, creation, and then approval, and each step has to be done by a certain person. For this example, we created a job that says there's a briefing. Either I want to create something from scratch or I want to rework something. There's a briefing field, and I can reference assets from the media pool in the background, so all your assets are in one central place and can be reused during jobs. So here you could attach the output of the job, and there's a complete comment section that includes rich content, that includes reviews, for example. So I say, yeah, good idea. How about this picture? And then I just upload a new asset directly from my local hard drive. Technically it lands in the media pool afterwards, so I either choose an existing one I already uploaded or I upload a new one. This is the picture I want them to think of when I do the advert, and that's the asset. We can even do a preview of it. So this one, not a Porsche. Okay, and then we can have people comment on that in the workflow. So I say I want to start the review manager and do visual annotations on the complete document, in this case a picture, but this could also be a video, or this could also be some InDesign document, could be anything. So I create an annotation. For example, the skyline is too dark, and I'm thinking of different wheels here, and I'm done. Now I just created some annotations, and it's absolutely clear what I mean. There's no more doing fax or files or PDF annotations, sending them back and forth. It's absolutely clear what you mean. So you get things done that way. Okay, that covers both the planner, the budgets, and the job management, including reviews of all kinds of assets. Next thing I want to show you is the media pool, where all the assets are located. This is more the power user area, but of course you can also say that a dealer goes here to view his or her event material or to research for the latest logos, whatever. So this shows preview pictures of all the assets in the system, and this is really powerful because it also contains an InDesign server in the background. So this is an InDesign document, you see this, but it automatically created the preview, and especially it automatically cross-references all the images used. So in this InDesign document we use this asset, nice Porsche logo, and this asset again is used in the following documents. So this gives you complete control over your assets and the usage. And we do videos, and we do video format conversions and all kinds of things, but this is just an overview, so I'm not going into details here. On the left hand side, this is a bit like eBay or Amazon. You see all the relevant keywords, for example all assets related to Panamera, and then you just have the remaining assets here, or just the MP4, the video files within that. So this is the new Panamera video spot. And going back, removing the Panamera, so this is all videos, there's also a pitch video, and removing the video restriction, I get back again to all the assets. This gives you a really powerful tool, even including previews of all the encapsulated PostScript, all the asset details. It's all in there in one central place for usage by all. And of course you can enter visibility restrictions as you like. Next I'm going to show you Web to Publish, which is template-based creation of personalized content. So for example, sales folders, adverts of all kinds, including web banners. I'm going to look for a web banner first, and I'm using this one for example, where I just edit the document. I always get the preview on the left hand side, and I can enter all the data I want on the right hand side here. So for example, let's fill out something. So this created the banner, and I can download it, and the result is something like this. The preview you see, this is the destination. It's always the same new content here, this date, in different formats that were automatically created. Next is an example for many languages within the same template. So for this one we chose English and Arabic. I'm using the Arabic variant, and in there I just get the content in Arabic language as I like. In this case we just selected some dealers, automatically fill in their addresses, and when we refresh the document you see the English default preview will get replaced by the Arabic generated content on the server side. This is the result. So the same template can have many languages, and you see all the left to right and right to left things are handled correctly. Another example, this one can be scaled. So the designer said, what happens if I make it wider? so 230 instead of 210. And when I refresh this one, take a note what happens here at the corners. This gets wider, so we just created an advert without any additional technical knowledge that is now wider than before and fits the publication's needs. And of course, again, we can automatically insert the dealer's address. Voila. And this is a sales folder where you can exchange all kinds of information. So for example, on this page, automatically we get the information on the back page here, the address of the Porsche Center, and the emission information is taken automatically. Or on that page, that's quite interesting, this automatically pulls your dealer's pictures into the template and the signature and the addresses and all. And this template also enables you to drag and drop content into specific places here. So 30 euro, some headline, some copy text, refresh. And as you see, the content has been replaced, the signatures are new, the address is new, here's the text I entered, here's the service voucher. So also this kind of personalization automatically happens if you have the right content and the right templates in the background. And finally, at the end of the day, you want to know what measures were taken internationally, what was the result, and what happened afterwards. So you want reporting. That's why BrandMaker offers a built-in reporting tool that you can either use with dashboards that we created specifically for you. For example, this is usage of the system worldwide. Or on the right hand side, the uploads together with the small thumbnails, the logins as a timeline. So you see with this dashboard, how is the system being used from the asset point of view. That's one possibility. And the other possibility is complete control for power users based on a data domain that we define for you according to your business needs. So for example, in this case, we show for which country and which dealer within the country we did how many activities, how many web to print activities, how many jobs, downloads and uploads. And this can be expanded and contracted as needed, even per model. So this gives you complete control, and you can change this dynamically as you need. Of course, you can change the visualization. So let's have a table, then you just get lots of numbers, or much nicer, let's do charting. So this automatically gives you the activities, downloads, uploads, jobs over everything. Then you zoom in and now you have them by model, and changing the chart type is easy too. So for example, if you want the typical pie charts, that's no problem either. Voila. And again, zooming out, zooming in. So you could even go to the next level and you have all the information in the charts you need. To sum it up, I showed you what you can do with BrandMaker within this Porsche demo scenario. Of course, the possibilities of BrandMaker are much wider than that. There's even more modules than the ones you see here. The system can grow with you, and it's professional software as a service, available globally, multi-language, professional content, professional infrastructure, and this covers all the needs that you have at the moment and the ones that you probably will have in the near future. Thanks a lot for watching, and in case of questions, just contact us. Thanks a lot. Bye.